To His Coy Mistress by Andrew Marvell. To His Coy Mistress is a Carpe Diem poem. In fact, it's probably the most well-known of its type in English literature. The word coy is a reference to the teasing sexual nature of the speaker's object of love, and the poem is a pretty clear plea for sex. Marvell wasn't alone with his sexual frustrations. In addition to John Donne's The Flea, another contemporary, Robert Herrick, wrote a notorious Carpe Diem poem entitled To the Virgins to Make Much of Time, in which he warned about the swift passage of time and beseeched young women to gather ye rosebuds while ye may. Old time is still a-flying, and this same flower that smiles today, tomorrow will be dying. The sexual intent is clear. 17th century virgins, it appears, were in a race against time to lose their innocence. In To His Coy Mistress, the male lover presents his case by first of all elaborating in some detail on what ideally should happen. The speaker would happily spend thousands of years adoring every part of his lover's body and truly getting to know her heart. On the one hand, he uses conventional romantic tropes and religious references to elevate their love into a pure, holy state. But on the other, he makes a lewd reference to his growing vegetable love, probably an allusion to male erection, as well as lingering over the woman's body. Here, Marvell employs a blazon, albeit perhaps mockingly. Notably, the speaker will spend twice as long admiring his lover's breasts compared to aspects of her face. The mockery might be deliberate on Marvell's part, as a critique of the unrealistic nature of much love poetry, with its tendency for hyperbole and superlatives. The second half of the lyric sees a kind of turn, where the speaker presents the reality of their situation. Human life is brief and time is short. In fact, somewhat surprisingly, there is no reference to Christian afterlife, just deserts of vast eternity. He goes on to paint a fairly grim picture of the lover rotting in her grave, coupling it with suggestive comments about how only worms, more phallic imagery, will be enjoying her body. The inference is clear. Let us not postpone pleasure or deny ourselves physical delights. The final section of the poem concludes with a triumphant, orgasmic climax, with the lovers challenging the very forces of nature. This offers an alternative to the more conventional spiritual tropes from the poem's opening by presenting a celebration of human sexuality with its physical consummation being the ultimate expression of the power of love. The language used to describe the lovemaking is vigorous, vital, and even violent. Maybe this is more appealing to our more secular and sexually liberated age. However, the overall argument is clearly disingenuous and is potentially problematic. Readers, particularly in the modern age, would question the sincerity of the speaker's insistence that he truly would really like nothing more than to spend a near eternity getting to know his love better. The turn, after line 20, with his alleged reluctance to face the reality of the transient nature of life, sounds hollow, and makes the lustful desires of the speaker all the more nakedly transparent. At best, the reader would be amused by the audacity, cheekiness even, of the speaker, whilst at worst the lines are dripping with insincerity and lascivious lechery. Such suspicions are reinforced, moreover, when we note how that throughout the poem the lover is silent. Consequently, we have solely the male perspective, which in turn reflects and reinforces patriarchal views whereby women are objectified and presented as passive objects to be admired, inspected, and used for male gratification. Or is the poem to be appreciated as something entirely tongue-in-cheek? Is it just a stylistic exercise designed to demonstrate the poetic skill of Marvell? After all, the poem wasn't ever intended for publication.